SFFA. How are you? How are we feeling? Everybody have fever yet? It's okay. It's a new day. It's game day for the USA, Paraguay. So that's super exciting. And we are still a little reeling from yesterday. I had a lot of Azteca energy, which was so fabulous. So a lot of emotion writing now, which is very, very thrilling and jubilant. It's so amazing to have all these earthlings come and see the game, play the game, enjoy the game together. So we were, hoping the U.S. We have a tendency to have a lackluster understanding of the emotional intelligence and the divine feminine that's inherent in the structure of football sport itself. Could be regarded as a dance, could be regarded as movement, it could be regarded as soulful. We saw the keeper yesterday on the Mexico team kiss that ball, un besito. Very, very sweet. Very, very Mexicano. So, muchachos and muchachos, you have all of the whole entire continent of Africa sending tectonic vibes, rooting for you, which could be felt here, I must say. Although I went into Mexico territory, and knowing I was going into Mexico territory, of course, as we all know, the border process, we didn't cross the border. Duh. So let's just start there, right? However, that being said, modern day, we have here in San Francisco, went down to the Mission District with the loveliest people, and at the kind of, I think it's called Cultural Arts, Native Arts Center Association. Yeah, taquitos. I don't really remember what the acronym means. Let me know. It was kind of it. They're amazing. They have the most incredible little space. It's a studio space. It's an event space. It's gorgeous. It's modern. And it already has so much passion and vibrancy from the local Mission District, which is really like a, Latinx, if you don't like that term, just a beautiful mix of pan-Latin American cultures and expressions in a really new way that responds to the new technologies that are emerging, the new materials that are emerging, the new sounds that are emerging, and they're setting up headquarters there, which is lovely. And they're also the directors of the 48th annual San Francisco Carnival, so they really have tremendous repertoire of performers, live artists, great administrators, and now they have their own dedicated space, and they do public events, many of which are free or low cost, especially if you're broke as fuck and you just want a place to go and connect with people who really football lovers. Highly recommend it. We also played, of course, Telemundo to have a game yesterday. So I knew that it was going to be a lovely way to kick off the village vibes, coming across with Africa in the house. They're not too fond, apparently, Ghana and Nigerians, of South Africa, so we felt that. And then I mean, I was rooting for South Africa because I'm going with the most melanated team. Okay, so you gotta keep it like that. I'm racist. There we go. So I'm going most melanated. So in this case, yesterday, I thought that in that respect, I am wishy-washy. I will flippy-floppy. It like literally, I love it first sight. Sometimes it just happens where you're like, who? I mean, like, who was that striker who got the first goal of the entire FIFA World Cup 2026? Goal. That was a beautiful goal, right? Very, very lovely man. Maybe from Veracruz, or I don't know. People are saying he was born in Colombia. I'm not sure. But Mexico always, comes in strong. When you have Azteca, that stadium is supposed to have an alluring sold-out effect. So maybe 100,000 folks there. They were saying that you can't even see the people across the way. I've never been there. I've been to Mexico. I haven't been to Mexico City. I'm dying to go to Mexico City. Dying to go to Mexico City. The museums are absolutely phenomenal. Food is absolutely phenomenal. The people are absolutely exquisite, loving, caring, and real fun. We got merengue, bombas. Like, even Nigerians were doing bombas. They've adopted merengue, but like, it's actually from the Dominican Republic, the islands shared with Haiti, obviously, in the Caribbean. But Mexicans love merengue. Merengue is so hypnotic. I love it. It's right up there with like Punjab music. So coming at you, my name is Fennel Doyle. Abuelita's Cup, mild accuracy, lot of energy, and thrilled to have some course correction here in the United States when it comes to soccer and the football program. Anyways, yesterday was a riot. It was so good to see friends and familia, the Carnaval and the Copa del Pueblo. AC was booming. It was hot here in San Francisco. Mother Nature is not having it with this exploitation. So let's get that straight and get some climate action to prevent these white man-made weather conditions. However, we want to keep it hospitable. And I don't know if they're going to be showing games all the time, but they might be only showing Mexican games and then thereafter until they get eliminated. And I'm not sure. You'll have to check my schedule, but they're really good with posting. Lovely facilities as a studio space and big seating and a capacity of 100. Food, so if you bring in your own food or create food there, big kitchen and recording studio, beautiful lighting. So it's some really nice lighting too. So you'll check in with them. I highly encourage it. Lovely. On Florida, 100% affordable housing. That was a tremendous win for the community, for the people, comunidad, and the gente de la nación. So yeah, a buddy of mine who actually is a singer with Stymie and the Pimp Jones Love Orchestra. They're incredible. Stymie's, they celebrated their 35th anniversary recently. We went and we had them perform live in Carnival last year with the outstanding Queen Abuelita from the venue. She was on top as the crown jewel, and she was exquisite. So we got Stymie singing and some brass, and the keyboardist wasn't there, but it still is amazing. And also with two backup singers. One of the backup singers, Joseph, is so sweet. I knew his dad here in the Fillmore. It's all San Francisco homegrown band. They used to have weeklies in the 80s and originals super fun. So that was good time. And So Joseph, who used to be a preschool teacher for my son, here in like the Western Addition area, Ashbury area, where the haters live. Haters. He's a great teacher, but he also has been a long time funk star. And I had never heard his band come together with Stymie, so that was a special, beautiful occasion. We were really appreciative for them to show out last year with Anansi the Spider. So that was a rendition of It Might As Well Be Spring, tribute to Sarah the Divine One, who sang it so beautifully here. She's an African-American singer, songstress, and who's not celebrated enough, so we love her. She is one of those voices and spirits who can really transport people. Wow, I just said no, but she transports you right away. Pom pom. So her timing is impeccable, and so I want to say that song was popular in like the 40s, 50s with Country Fair. It was a musical in Hollywood by Hammerstein, and it won Best Score of the Year, maybe a Grammy or whatever it is, an Oscar. But it wasn't until 20 years later that Bossa Nova adopted it with Joan Gilberto's daughter, who sang it and then turned it into a bossa tune, which gained global recognition. Sing that song like, but we'll see. This is Glitterbox. If you don't know, now you know. Very good DJs. One of which is Natasha, who's in Brooklyn, and then some English guy. No,
it is a pleasure to be back on the airways. There is so much going on right now. Our season in Ibiza is well underway.
They do a monthly on YouTube. Check them out. Glitterbox. Amazing, 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 amazing. House, soul.
Amazing. If you're out there on the island,
enjoy them. We'll put them on a portable speaker.
Here in NYC,
out, party in the streets. Anyway, yeah, Joseph, who is with Stymie and the Punk, Pink Jones Love Orchestra, and
amazing acts, the Laporte twins.
That apartment building in the Mission's great. Go check out Carnival headquarters. Check in, see what they got going on for the whole World Cup. It'll be fun, low key, family friendly, all ages. Well, check it out. But it's all ages, super chill. And if you want to connect with the community and see what's going on, grassroots and traditions and people who really enjoy the camaraderie. So it's super, super fun. So shout out to them and all of their hard work and all their volunteers. So nice. They crack me up. So we had a good time yesterday. I had a little bit of an outfit that was homage to South African again, going melanated. But I did not think they were going to actually win, but I'll just root, you just got to kind of like show your love, see how it goes, which really is like nice to see men who can tap into their femininity with soccer. So it's tough, it's fierce, and you need to be in the moment, right? Like you need to have many touches on the ball. And so, I mean, South Africa barely even got any shots off. That was kind of silly. And then it was interesting to see the other guy like poke out his eye, like via the camera. So the whole camera thing is new. I mean, heads up. Just assume somebody's always watching. It's an old adage, but it's getting more and more prevalent today. So surveillance and also deprioritization, the algorithm online, obviously. You use certain keywords and you're going to get demoted. No doubt. Anything that even with like LinkedIn and that whole platform, so narrow, myopic. But you're not supposed to talk about cultural arts or women on LinkedIn. So what I'd like to see is more announcers here in the US who are women, as we're going into the sport, the men's sport, obviously, but hearing women speak about what's going on. So we had Shakira open up the ceremony, which was lovely, with Burna Boy. That was lovely. I didn't see it because I was running so goddamn late. Excuse my French, but Telemundo broadcasted it, of course, but Fox News didn't, or Fox whatever. Fox. Fox. Not a fan. Anyway, they did not live broadcast, and then they have all those ads. So, shout out to Telemundo. If you're elsewhere in the globe, look out for Telemundo broadcasts of the entire games. Okay, I don't know what they do up in Canada. They say brewskis. I don't know what they're doing up there. But the American media is, and Lexi Alalis is single-handedly destroying the next generation of soccer understanding. Can't stand when he talks. That being said, I don't tap in that much to what the Americans say about the sport. And like I said, as a player myself who spent a lot of time devoted to the game as a young child, I probably started I think I was trying to be like my older brother initially in Boston. And I come from a village, suburb outside of Boston. Is where I grew up, although I was born in Vermont, Bernie land. I would play, it was at the Y, and I think my brother started playing, but then I loved playing, and then it just grew from there, and a lot of the parents really gave to the program. I was a referee, I was a coach. I ended up playing in middle school. I was a striker, actually. I did well as a striker. I don't remember what. Our team was good, but we were feeder to Newton North High School, which is a public school, which was notorious for being exceptional. So my public high school in Newton then goes into Newton North, which freshman year I tried out, but I didn't make the team, and I think that was a pretty tough blow initially, but ultimately made the most sense as a setback because they were like, we want her to get a lot of playing time on JV, so I got a lot of playing time on JV as a freshman. Sophomore year, then played on varsity. That's when we were state champions, thanks to Tanya Jones. Forget my goal. Where we had the right composition, and we were able to pull through. We were ranked number 1 in the United States by USA Today poll. And junior year, we won. I mean, many times we would go undefeated for state, but whatever, we lost in the finals or something. I can't remember that for back to the second 80s, yo. And then junior lost. I don't know. We probably did well. I don't know if we had energies or whatnot. But I was playing now stopper, sweeper, outside back often. And then senior year was captain, sole captain. So they never had a sole captain. So it was fun to be a sole captain. We did all right, I don't do well doing speeches. So I would say that I get shy, and that's something I still work on. But now I feel like women's voices are more important than ever, so we need to step forth more bravely to kind of get over that. So I was captain. I got recruited to play at Brown University. They don't offer scholarships, but certainly helped as a student athlete because their program was very strong, and Title IX, and all of the, fights and battles that had come before that, they always had a strong women's program. And I knew a girl I played with in high school, she was a year ahead of me, Debbie Satter, she went to Brown. So they already had a connection. I mean, they had recruiters come to our school and check it out because we always had good players. And a great training program. So we don't have any of that really, I would say, in San Francisco. I played on grass fields, of course. Played in the rain, played in the snow, played in the heat. But we really just played around. I never got burnt out, and I would take seasons off. So that was really important at that time. It was good because my mom was a soccer mom and she was committed to taking me around. But we also had a pool of, collaborative parents and flexibility. And my mom was never that hardcore, and I was never really that hardcore. I mean, I never played really on the bench. I always liked to just play. So I was fortunate in that sense because I was probably on the top of the team. In high school, was the highlight when we were ranked, when we won state, when we won across the nation. Then when I went to Brown, it was a big adjustment. So while the program was good, it was our freshman year, right? Okay, so as a freshman year, we became NCAA Division I IB champs, and I played a little bit. We played against Leah Ham, but I was mainly on bench because I was a little youngster, and I also put on weight. It was hard. I was very conscientious about everything going on at Brown. So, realizing this school really focuses on having a distinct voice and owning who you are. So while that's a noble North Star, it didn't really kind of have the other norms as far as socialization and groups and just sort of basic everyone was so different that coming together, and they came from all over the world. The student body was outrageous. I wish I diversified a little bit more because it was so vastly different. No one was alike, but in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So I grew to love that. But initially when I was there, it was just a lot of pressure and mostly, looking to belong, looking to fit in, right, and finding your tribe, and then also figuring out what you want to study and what really, how can you become more easily fascinated with different subject matters. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to focus on for studies. And then it was great. So we did well our freshman year. I then tore my ACL and it was over. Ta-da! Anyways, today it's already probably heating up in LA. But we are excited for US to do well, but I think Paraguay has more melanation. It'll be exciting to see. Yeah, I want the men's program, but they need to start younger and they need to get these fundamentals right. Starting with creating fields and local youth organizations for folks to play. Reserve it, not for dog parks, not for plastic, and not for car rides that are exorbitant. So we don't have proper public infrastructure here, so you can't get to the games. So it's these absolutely exhausting commute times that make folks auto dependent. It makes them parent dependent. So kids can't just hop on the bike and or even just walk to a local field in many cases to play and just jump in and pick up. Luckily, we have access to green open space here and green open blue space. The ocean's nearby, and we've been fighting very hard for that to be safe for all living beings. And then that's Golden Gate Park, and then over out at Ocean Beach. Yesterday was fabulous. It was absolutely amazing. So day one, World Cup yesterday was blazing hot here. It was a perfect beach day for North California. Right? Whale vaginas for the win. Yet I like the coach. So I like the U.S. coach. He's actually really funny on camera too. He's obviously really versed. What's his name? Killsman. So we'll see what he's able to put together with the team. But they're not very good because, again, like, U.S. is just so out of it. And, I mean, my only hope yesterday when we were talking, I imagine that maybe some of the players, though, coming internationally, aside from all the absolute nonsense of wanting to be a host and then, making people not only uncomfortable but being outright hostile and threatening, and taking away their human rights, and really dishonoring, their passes and just being generally antagonistic as opposed to hospitable, is deeply disturbing. But we also, those who continue to persevere and are coming here, the political climate is just atrocious. Maybe from a player perspective, they would find it refreshingly different because out and about on the street and every day, probably they don't get recognized, they don't get harassed. There's that big mess of fanfare scenes. It might be a little bit more heart to heart, eye to eye, a human exchange, and it is a cultural exchange, obviously. So I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it was fun to see like France coming into Boston, Haiti going into Boston, Quincy, I think. Love Haiti. So Haiti was having some issues with their shirt design, which is,
and get into some club records in just a minute. But before we do that, let's play this one from our sessions.
Restrictive unnecessarily. So, the equity and the fairness of the rules applying to everyone equally. I don't think that was the case here. I say they go shirtless. Why not? Do you feel me? So Haiti is amazing. They're amazing dancers, amazing singers. There's an amazing Haitian party in New York City at SOB's, Sons of Brazil Club. Their Haitian night was sexy. And then the New York, Brooklyn, West Indian neighborhood grid. It's so fun to see the Haitian massive terror top. Then, so they look good. They look really good. My cousin went to Haiti, and they're the only slave uprising. And no, excuse me. Okay, I'm not gonna say this correct. So let me try my best. Haiti, the island in the Caribbean. The island itself is called Hispaniola. No. There's Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and they are the only enslaved people who successfully rose up against the violence of colonizers, and led a forceful, powerful revolution, and didn't cede. So, unlike a lot of the other islands in the Caribbean, the American landscape, all the different European colonizations. So a lot of folks too, right? Like they're rooting for teams right away. Are they the colonizers or unique freedom, liberty, right to sovereign self and congregate and celebrate. And I mean, even in Cuba, like, you're not even allowed to have like Americans and Cubans mix in hotels. Cubans aren't even allowed. Well, this is a while ago. I don't know what the current situation in Cuba is a whole nother story, so I won't even get into it. But when I went there, that was quite a thing. I had, understanding how different governments try to segregate, oppress, or ultimately suffocate, dominate, and so the patriarchy is going to be dismantled. Mother Nature always wins. So the faster we embrace that, the future is female. Anyway, yesterday was good. Condolences to Scorpion Kings. Sorry, mate. Y'all went down. Lots of red cards. Are you people like must have been scorcher though? This scorcher. Bloody scorcher. In Mexico. It's crazy hot in Mexico, so it looked like the soul was like, and then they had like a little bit of rain with like sprinklers on the field. Wild. Then next up, I don't know. I didn't watch the other game. I don't know if I go back and check out. I heard it was Korea. One guy did a freaky little cut. It was like a really, really like tight cut. I don't know. I didn't catch any of that, but there's a lot going on here. I gotta wrap it up, yo. I just wanted to check in, say hello, see how your game 1 went, see how you're treating your fever. It's happening. I'm excited for you all to come out and teach us how you like to celebrate life and enliven one another, lift each other up through the sport. I like to look out for more like female broadcasters. We'll see how San Francisco Bay Area serves as a host. We'll see. I hear tickets are still available. They may go down in price. I hear that there maybe been 2 drops so far from their initial price. I'm not sure. I have one friend who's kind of a little bit of a nut trying to get a hold of them. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to succeed, but we got Paraguay down in San Jose. We got the Socceroos over in Oakland. They're out. So Australia's playing today, I believe, Group D. And then Paraguay headed down to LA. So LA, maybe SoFi Stadium, I think is what it's called. The people are going to protest because they're like, they were going to have people have water in there. Transport in LA. Oh my gosh. How do you give like 5,000 million thumbs down for LA transportation? Bullshit. Fucking LA bullshit. Auto industry bullshit. Fossil fuel bullshit. They're all really brainwashed in America. I know, I'm super sorry. It fucking sucks ass. And we've been trying to get like blueprint, like passing grade mass transit where people can go efficiently travel to the planet. Oh my gosh, I got stuck in my wheel. We're going to ride out tonight. Lainey's birthday. She turned 70 and we're going to take 9 o'clock. After the game. So USA, Paraguay. I think Paraguay has more Black people who are typically having to deal with all kinds of nonsense. So, and don't get credit where credit is due. So let's give credit where credit's due. And gotta rock and roll, my friends. The phone's ringing. Okay, take care. Okay, viva Mexico. Congratulations. Bye bye. Adios, mi amigos.